30 seconds till start of the fourth and final race of the Shalhoob Women's Invitational. We have a tie for first place between these two boats right here. So it's all going to come down to this race. All clear. And we got a little bit of shouting. Go up, up, up. That means that Cherry Bomb's the leeward boat. Tacky 2 is the windward boat. And it's gonna be a tight one. So these two boats on screen right are tied for first place with 5 points each, with Cherry Bomb winning the tiebreaker, but really it's gonna come down to whoever wins this race. They just have to finish ahead of each other. I don't think anyone else in the race, the other two boats are fighting for third. That's Helene Webb and Fleur de Lis is sailed by Becky Hartek. So just to clarify, on the left side of the screen we have from left to right, Fleur de Lis sailed by Becky Hartek, Lysiantha sailed by Helene Webb, Cherry Bomb sailed by Jane Barrett, and Tacky 2 sailed by Carly Keating. And looks to me like Carly has slowly gassed Jane out, and Jane probably needs to tack and get out right now, which she's doing. And wow, Carly's not gonna let it happen this time. She let her go last time, which I thought was an interesting decision. I think it's an honorable decision, but from if kind of more of a cutthroat racing perspective, you'd want to cover your competition, and she is doing that this time, not letting her go. I mean, it's gonna be, so I think probably at this point, just for the people watching, you know, either of these boats, they could finish third and fourth, but whoever finishes in front of whoever is who is gonna win this regatta overall with 5 points each. And wow, that went bad for Cherry Bomb there. A couple tough tacks there, a little bit of pinching, and just sort of fell behind all of a sudden. And you know, Helene Webb is going to cross in front. Looked like they were in maybe third, but they're now in second. Ooh, looks like Jane might be dropping all the way to fourth here. Oh wow, that is going to be a game changer for sure. It's Carly Keating just kind of stone cold. Carly Keating, wow, she doesn't really get rattled by anything. I mean, they were like inches apart and she didn't start to freak out or think about anything. She's just kind of looking at it going, yeah, there's still a couple inches there, we're okay. And there were. They did not hit. And there she's tacking onto ley line, I believe. So this is a big indicator for what's going to happen here. So Carly Keating tacks onto starboard ley line in the orange hat, and she looks like she's going to be launched. Big launched. We'll see if Becky Hartek gets a piece of her up at the windward market. Now there's no way. Carly Keating's winning this race right now. That is good news for her if she's hoping to win this event, because that's what she needs to do. Wow, man, 10-year-old Carly Keating, and crewing for her is Ann Hutchins and Sandra Denton. Once again, I'm going to toot the horn for Helene Webb, who's going to round in second place, sailing with Jean DeBettines. I am slaughtering that. I'm so sorry, Jean. We talked about this last week, and I feel terrible, too. It's a French name, DeBettines, I think. Anyway, so she's rounding in second place, and nice big gap between her and Fleur de Lis in third. And wow, Jane, that's almost shocking, because I didn't think after her start, I thought when she peeled off and went right, she was going to be golden, but when Carly tacked on top of her, she tacked back. Part of me thinks I would have just sent it right and let Carly cover me, just because the pressure on the right side, and then at least I'm in second place at the mark rounding as opposed to fourth. But the first to fourth place right now as it stands is Carly Keating, Helene Webb, Becky Hartek, then Jane Barrett. And that is a big deal, because Carly Keating just needed to beat Jane. She doesn't need to put boats in between her, but right now she's got boats in between her, which is just enough cushion for her to comfortably sail this race and not think too hard and say, I think I might have this in the bag. Webb is, and Becky Hartek are kind of fighting for that third place position. I don't think they could move their way up any better than that. I'm trying to think if they could. No, they could not. But the way it stands right now, they would be, I think, potentially a tie between Becky Hartek and Lysianthus, that Lysianthus would win. So Helene right now with this second place is looking to cement a top 3 podium finish, which is pretty awesome. And Jane Barrett making moves on the outside here. So I don't think Jane's going to give up. It's not over yet. And they've got another leg and a half. So they're going to go down to our leeward mark, which is right down here, and then round back up to the weather mark and then finish downwind. So once again, we are watching the Women's Shalhoob Invitational 2018, hosted out of the Santa Barbara Yacht Club in beautiful Santa Barbara, California. Here comes our leader of race 4, the final race, 10-year-old Carly Keating, followed closely behind by Helene Webb, which is awesome. It's great to see how well she sailed today, this weekend. I've just been stoked on that. And Helene's reeling her in. You can see this is a great example of, covering the breeze. Probably Helene could go, well, see, she's sort of giving it back to her, and Carly's sort of jiving to get out of the bad breeze. This could be an interesting scenario. If Helene wanted to get aggressive, she could try to stick her bow on the inside and see if she could get an overlap. It looks like she's just going to let it play out how it is. Doesn't want to get into a tussle at the mark. Jane Barrett making moves back into third. She still has, because of what happened last race, she has a 1-1-3, and Carly Keating has a 2-2-1. So right now they're tied with Cherry Bomb winning that tiebreaker, but it really doesn't matter. It all comes down to this. Somebody's going to end up with one more point at least than the other boat, and whoever has that one more point is going to get second place. So Carly Keating winning the race, winning the regatta. Ooh, a little bit of windward-leeward scenario going on. I don't think I would recommend that. Usually I'd say focus forward, because your race is not in the back of the pack right now. You want to focus on trying to catch Carly. But I guess that is good for Carly at this particular time as she cruises over to the right with a pretty substantial gap between her and the regatta leader. So I am getting more confident by the second that you have a 10-year-old champion for the Shalhoob Women's Invitational. Look at her looking back. That's so cool. She is stone cold Carly Keating, man. Look at that. Gnarly Carly. It's got that racer pose, those shoulders lean back. And one of the fun things, I'll try to keep the camera still enough that you can kind of see the speed differential. Helene is not slow today, so Helene is fast. But Carly has been able to just, kind of balance between point and speed, and for the most part has been making gains upwind. Not as much this time, but last time she rounded 1 boat length in front of Lysianthus, and she was 10 boat lengths by the windward mark. And they sailed pretty much the same exact, route. You can see Jane Barrett here. I would say they're making some moves too. It's just, there's not a lot of race course left. That's the hard thing. Even though she looks great right now, and she does, there's not a ton of race course left. She can't go to the left side of the course because I just don't think the left is going to pay out at this time of the day. Carly Keating tacking. As long as she doesn't screw up ley lines or have any kind of bad tacks, this is all about just don't have any big errors. Sail simple, keep the boat moving fast, and she'll be cruising into a victory. Once again, you're watching the 2018 Shalhoob Women's Invitational, hosted out of the Santa Barbara Yacht Club. Ooh, a double tack by Carly Keating. That is an interesting development. Not a bad tack, but I'm going to venture to say that you want to minimize the tacks as much as you can. in these conditions. Ooh, I don't know. Is she going to get Helene Webb? Probably whittled down some of the lead there. Looks like we're back to 1 boat length. And that doesn't matter too much for the overall regatta standings. But she is... Oh, you know what? I think she's got a pretty good cover on Helene. I take it back. So Helene's going to get slowly pushed back here and gassed out. And so I think Carly just decided, oh, what the heck? I'm not going to let her have a clean lane all the way to the mark. I'm just going to pop up and tack on her and cover her to the mark. Make sure that, in particular, this boat right here on screen, right, Cherry Bomb, doesn't get back in this race. And it looks like they are. Cherry Bomb is moving quickly into a potential second place position. So the race isn't over yet. It looks pretty, I would say, unless Carly has a big malfunction somewhere along the way, she's got this one nailed down. But I probably shouldn't talk too soon, because Jane Barrett is almost back into second place. And even though that's going to help her, it's not going to be enough. I mean, it's going to make it look better, but it's still going to be a 1-point regatta for Carly Keating. So Jane Barrett and Cherry Bomb was the 2017 champion for this race and the Women's Skippers Championship. And she really brings it out for this. I just think she does great. And you know, there's moments where, you know, things happen and it's just a shame, because, you know, if she could minimize those moments, those errors, then I think she'd find herself right at the front of the fleet every single time. But, you know, to Carly Keating's credit, she really doesn't have, I've watched her for 8 races now, she doesn't have big errors. She's a little late to the start line. She has maybe not a perfect tack, but she has pretty good tack, you know, and just tactically speaking, she could be a little bit more cutthroat, and she's done that in the last 2 races, just covering her competition. But you can see that's a big lead. Carly Keating rounding in first. Jane Barrett officially grinding all the way back to second place, but barring some kind of a miracle, and this is the first and second place boat, are the first and second place to finish this race, are going to be the first and second to win this regatta and get second in it. So Carly Keating with a solid 7-8 boat lead on Cherry Bomb, and Cherry Bomb has only one option right now: cover them, get on their wind, slow them down, hope for some kind of a, you know, enough of a slow that right at the finish line they could reel them in and maybe poke their bow past. Carly just needs to keep her air clean, and I don't know. I mean, she's far enough ahead. She might not really be getting much of Cherry Bomb's wind shadow anyway. So if Carly just kind of sails conservatively, she's probably going to be okay. It looks like Jane's trying to work on top of her and make sure she's stealing her breeze, but bad news for Jane is that Helene Webb is on top of Cherry Bomb, so she's not going to get this clear lane to just do whatever she wants to that first place boat. Meaning Carly Keating is almost positively the champion for the Shalhoob Women's Championship, or Invitational, excuse me. Once again, you're watching the 2018 Shalhoob Women's Invitational in beautiful Santa Barbara, California, where you can see Santa Barbara City College, one of the most beautiful community colleges and campuses I can imagine. And we have the Santa Barbara Yacht Club, people watching right from there. I make some race committee calls here. Mark set, you can pull both the weather mark and leeward mark. We are all finished. As soon as all the boats finish, I'll grab the pin end of the start line.
Roger that, thanks.
And here she comes. This is what she needed to do. She did what she needed to do. And it tied for first, Cherry Bomb, but this is gonna be putting that point on them. We have our champion of the 2018 Shalhoob Women's Invitational, Carly Keating, Ann Hutch, and Sandra Denton. Congratulations, ladies. And what a remarkable comeback on that race. All came down to this fabulous regatta, ladies. Well done. This is Jane Barrett, Cherry Bomb, Mary Toomey, and Roxanne Shan. I love it. Great sportsmanship, great racing. And she did fabulously well, just barely missing the championship for both women's events again this year. But she hands off the mantle to 10-year-old Carly Keating. And Helene Webb, what a great regatta for her. What's that? That's right. Great job. Nice racing, you guys. We'll see you on shore, okay? And a little bit of a tough regatta for Becky, hardtack here, but you know, I think really these events, as far as like we talk a lot about first, second, third, fourth, and blah blah blah, and these podcasts or these live broadcasts, but I mean, we're really out here just trying to have fun and get together with our ladies together to race. The racing is exciting because we don't get some of these folks, we don't get to see skipper sometimes, and it's just nice to have them out here sailing, and we're stoked that we could have such a fun event with great women sailors out here. And Becky is a fabulous sailor, and just I think there was some really good sailing from 10-year-old Carly Keating, so congratulations to her. And what a cool story. She didn't even have a crew yesterday, and Ann Hutchins and Sandra Denton said, hey, why don't you just sail with us? Probably didn't think they were going to win, but they tied for first last night, losing the tiebreaker to Cherry Bomb Jane Barrett, but today they win it. That's it from Santa Barbara, California, the 2018 Shalhoob Women's Invitational with Gary Jobson protege Brad Shopheater broadcasting for you today. Until next time, this is the Santa Barbara Yacht Club.